What's up, peace? Welcome to another edition of Hip Hop Head. My name is Julian Williams. This is another album review for you guys. This is for the Stalley album, Lincoln Way Nights. I believe it's an independent release. It's not necessarily a mainstream. It's not necessarily a mainstream album. It's an independent album, of course. It's by MMG artist Stalley. Pretty much Stalley did a great job on this album, if you ask me. Songs like Hercules, 330, Slap, Monkey-ish, Lincoln Way Nights. He had a song with John Mayer called Assassin. Freedom Fighter, Chimes of Freedom Fighter. Doesn't have too many guest features on this album. Pretty much, Stalley showcased himself on this album. He just showcased himself. He's rhyming from beat to beat. The songs are not too long. Songs. I think the longest song is like 4 minutes 11 seconds. But all the songs are short, and he didn't do too much with the album. It was just perfect, because there's a lot of albums out there that you have like so much going on, and this is just an album that doesn't have a lot going on. It's just beats and rhyming. It's kind of like that. If you look back at '96, the Tribe Called Quest album, Beats, Rhymes, and Life, when they have beats, they got the rhymes, and they're talking about life, which was a darker record than all the other ones, which were about having a good time, like Midnight Marauders, People Instinctive Travels, and Low End Theory. And it was a much darker tone, and this is pretty much beats, rhymes, and life. You can use that metaphor for this album. It's no hashtag or backpack type rap. It's just strictly a hip hop album. It's a hip hop album that has a soulful approach. Very good production wise. Has a lot of substance to his writing and what he's bringing out on the album. A lot of substance behind it. And pretty much with Stalley, the early part of the record, early part of the album was just stand out. You want to hear each and every song that he's putting out, because it seems as if he's changing up his tone and changing up his flow throughout the songs. Because like if you listen to 330 and then you listen to Hercules, you hear two different flows. And then you hear Chimes of the Freedom Fighter after Hercules, and so forth and so on. And then you go to songs like She Hates the Bass, Pound. You hear like all these songs, and he's changing up his flow, and he's bringing a different delivery in each of these songs. In each of these songs, he's bringing a different delivery. So with a rapper that's bringing a different delivery, changing up his flow, just like throughout all the songs, but there are cases where some of the songs sound somewhat identical early in the album. But the thing is, there's no empty moments. It's no straight up just talking at the beginning and then rapping. No empty moments. It's just hip hop, at its finest. And this was well put together. One of the most, I think, probably one of the better indie releases of the year from Stalley. One of the better indie releases. And when he makes his MMG album, we have to hope he sticks to this formula of making music that he wants to make, because a lot of artists out there don't make music that they want to make. So then they're stuck to making corporate bullshit type music, and so we don't want to see that. And then Wale had a very good album with Ambition, a very good album. So with an album like Ambition, coming out, and MMG Self-Made Volume 1, where they were making music to what they wanted to make, I don't think Stalley will have a problem. So what do I think how would I rate this album? I would rate it 4.5 mics. I would rate it 4.5 mics because there are times in the album, there are parts of the album that just become forgettable. There's just parts of the album that becomes forgettable. But the memorable parts of the album is what he does well, and it's just how he puts together his rhymes. The production's great. The standout track to me was Assassin with John Mayer, and the way that he uses metaphors. And you hear like he uses his metaphors differently on all of these tracks. and you just listen to Chimes of the Freedom Fighter, and you hear he's just bringing a different delivery to all these tracks. So I would rate Lincoln Way Nights 4.5 out of 5. I really would, but I just think that there are parts of the album that just become forgettable. And the thing is, and there are parts of the album that will be over some people's head if they don't listen closely. And you have to listen to this album very closely. So 4.5 out of 5. Thanks for watching. Hip Hop Head. Peace.